audience, Assalamu Alaikum. A gracious welcome to you all on the second round of the first inter-school English debate competition organized by Bangladesh Television Chattogram Center. Debate is a powerful tool for creating an innovative and a logical mind. It helps develop the personality of people. In addition, a student can increase his confidence as well as the scope of his knowledge through actively participating in debate. Dear audience, today the selected motion of the debate competition is: mass media is the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation war to the future generation. The team for the motion belongs to Feni Girls Cadet College. The team against the motion belongs to Baburhat High School and College, Chattogram. Speakers for the motion are Cadet Tasin Noori, Cadet Ruslan Antara, Cadet Rufaida Raha. Speakers against the motion are Nihar Ranjan Rahul, Umme Habiba Mumu, Mustahid bin Masum. The honorable adjudicators of this session are Mohammad Mamunur Rashid, Assistant Director, Bangladesh Bank; Kazi Arfat, former President, USTC Debate Club, Director, Viz Communications; Adnan Hussain, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Dhaka College. The topics on which our honorable judges are going to assign marks in the constructive round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 10, Presentation of Theory and Information 15, Argumentation and Rebuttal 10. The topics on which marks will be awarded in the rebuttal round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 5, Argumentation and Rebuttal 20. Dear viewers, now we are going to introduce our honorable moderator of today's program, who will conduct the entire competition and announce the results at the end. The honorable moderator of today's competition is Dr. Mohammad Shahnawaz Chaudhary, Associate Professor, Institute of Marine Sciences, University of Chittagong. Now, I would humbly request you, sir, to come up on the stage and take your seat. Before we start the debate, let me inform you about the order and time allocation of each debater. Each debater will get 5 minutes to present his speech. An alarm bell will ring on 4th minute and final bell will ring on 5th minute. In the rebuttal round, both the team leaders will get 2 minutes each. Alarm bell will ring on 1.5 minutes and final bell will ring on the 2nd minute. Dear viewers, this round of our debate competition will be posted on facebook.com/PTV Chattogram and on www.youtube.com/@PTV Chattogram. Now, I most humbly request the honorable moderator to preside over this competition and start the debate.
Thank you very much indeed. Today's motion of the debate is mass media is the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation war to future generations. I'm sure this debate will be very interesting, and we are curiously waiting to know regarding the best possible and effective ways to spread the spirit of liberation war, particularly to younger generation. First of all, I would like to request the first debater, Cadet Tasin Noori, from Feni Girls Cadet College, to deliver her speech for the motion.
These walls cannot cage my soul, for I will search the world forevermore. I shall see what life is about, the world circling in a twist of time. The quoted lines have been taken from the poem Shonkolpo by Kazi Nabila Tasnim, where the poet wanted to spread the idea of providing our lives by knowing, which means the more I see, the more I know. And the more I know, the better I learn. Ultimately, these learnings help us to lead the life of a human being with dignity and honor. That is exactly what our forefathers fought for. They fought to give us a life of human being with all political, social, and economic rights. That was the spirit of liberation war. And if we can properly spread the spirit of liberation war to our future generation, then that will be the only ocean they'll choose to dive in. most respected moderator, dear opponent, and august gathering. Assalamu alaikum and a very good day to you all. In today's debate, the topic has been selected as mass media is the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation war to future generation. And for obvious reasons, I firmly stand for the motion. If we take a look at our today's motion, there are three vital terms: mass media, the spirit of liberation war, and the future generation. Mass media includes diverse areas of media that reach a large audience irrespective of race, religion, or culture via communication. Liberation war is the war for equity and human rights. And lastly, future generation is the group who will face the new modernized era of the world, a new dimension of globalization. There is a fine line that connects future generation and the spirit of liberation war, which is mass media. So first, let me clear the concept of mass media. It consists of several components, which includes digital media, which comprises of the internet and any kind of electronic device, billboards, leaflets, films, which are incorporated with outdoor media, and even books, magazines, and newspapers are part of printed media. As I've already mentioned before, how our ascendants raise their voice for rights and needs. When in a free country we are underprivileged and imprisoned, 30 lakh freedom fighters shed their blood, and 2 lakh mothers and sisters sacrificed their dignity. As for now, we are already favored with those rights and needs. So it is our responsibility to let the future generation know about our history. Because liberation war is not only a war, it's a feeling and emotion that should travel generation after generation. And the only way to accomplish that is via mass media. So learned opponent, why are you denying the importance of mass media and putting barricades towards knowledge? During the liberation war in 1971, our freedom fighters sacrificed their everything. But the right hand was mass media. In the radio channel Shadhin Banglar Betar Kendro, music used to be played, which transmitted codes to our freedom fighters and showed them their path. Even Bangabandhu himself declared the independence of Bangladesh via wireless. In other countries also, the news of war was spread through newspapers, news reports, and TV broadcasts. But I am deflated to say that how self-contradictory my opponent is. By rejecting the idea of mass media, they are rejecting its contribution. In 1971 also, the spirit of liberation war was spread through mass media. In 2023, it's no different aside from the change of platform. Dear audience, let me inform you on a vital thing that young generation gets motivated and engaged with. A research from asianschool.com shows that 82% of future generation are gaining knowledge through news portals, and the other 18% through hard copies. Learned opponent, that is 100% of future generation preferring mass media. If you're still not convinced, www.ipsoc.com ran a research where the outcome says 74% of youth are interacting with history-related posts every day. Now, let's take an example. In the bestseller list of Rokomari.com, Oshamakto Attojiboni topped for consecutive 6 years. Now, you can guess how igniting and capturing books can be. Learned opponent, can you see how mass media is igniting the flame of curiosity in our future generation? Now, in today's world, how are we spreading the spirit of liberation war? WION aired a documentary called The Untold Stories of Bangladesh, where they portray the powerful heroism and patriotism of our freedom fighters. Prothomalo published their digital archive called Chironton 1971, which is an unpaid website. One of the most popular period magazine, Time, has advertised their magazine on liberation war called The Bloody Birth of Bangladesh, which didn't only reach the future generation of Bangladesh, but rather the whole world. When the future generation finds such topics in the media of preference, there will be a surge of fascination in their souls, as it was already involved within their initial interest. Learned opponent, you seem to be completely unaware and ignorant about the potential capability of mass media. So, in a lightened room, if you're blindfolded, everything is dark. So take off your blindfold and accept the fact that mass media is the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation war to future generations. Thanks to all.
Thank you, Cadet Nori. Now I will invite Niharanjan Rahul from Baburhat High School and College Chattogram to deliver his speech against the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the scope for talking here. Debating is going on and the topic is introduced as mass media is the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation war. Today I am against the motion and my team also. Instead of mass media, we are talking about education system is the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation aware. Why? First of all, before entering the debate, I want to clarify some points. Mass media. Mass media mean all the ways of collection of information that are used in mass communication, or mass media means broadcasting media, also known as electronic media or normal media. It is the transmit news on views by electronic accessories or normal accessories like television, newspaper, and radio. You have talked about books. Books are not connected with mass media. Books are connected with educational system, education institution. Mass media means the mass connection, and books are connected with the education system. And now I will talk about the spirit of liberation aware. The spirit of liberation aware indicates that spirit or purpose or motto for which millions of heroic sons of this land laid down their lives in the war. And the future generation means the upcoming generation who will face the fourth revolutionary change and their course of information and technological brilliantness. Mass media play a vital role in evoking the spirit of liberation aware, but respected moderator, did that literally happen, or is it possible for us to get the mass media as the best option for the liberation aware spirit? No. And there are many thousands of reasons behind that. Among them, today's generation is not mass media oriented. So before talking about that, we will talk about today's generation. You are seeing mass media as the most effective way, but the reality is that today's generation is averse to the mass media. In this reality, unknown to you, there is a proverb in our Bengali village: the one who is going to get married has no worries, but the neighbors has no sleep. Television shows us a lot about liberation aware, but if the person for whom it is shown does not switch on the television, then the broadcast has no value, doesn't it? Again, you want to convey many things through the newspaper, but if does not put his eyes on that page, then surely you have the ability to understand all the effort went in vain. Again, today's generation is not media oriented. They are interested in different types of social performing oriented, like TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. They had no emotion for the liberation aware or liberation spirit. Why? Because their growth is not comparatively connected with the liberation aware. First of all, education system makes a man bigger than the little and the big. So why? That controversy that the education system makes the boy little to bigger, and then when he starts studying, he knows about the liberation aware. If the teachers who gave 6 to 7 hours lectures in the classroom talks about 10 minutes about liberation aware, they will know about more about the history about liberation aware, and they will know about that. They can know the spirit, know the motto, and know the purpose about the liberation aware. Second one, I want to talk about the some most important characteristic of mass media in their business, like their business ideals, political ideals, religious ideals. So for this, they can't use the best of their power. So education system can give us the best power to know about the spirit and motto and the purpose about the liberation aware. Education system, education institution takes our lots of times. If they give us the knowledge about the liberation aware, the history about liberation aware, we can know about many more things, and our spirit and the spirit of liberation aware will be known to us. And then I want to talk. The education system should recruiting teacher about. They should know many more things about the liberation aware, and they should saw the mobile liberation museum that they are taking schools and educational institution for their information. Why? Because they know they can get the most information from the liberation aware museum and from the students. That's all about from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul. Now, This is turn for Cadet Ruslan Antara, the second speaker from the Feni Girls Cadet College for the motion.
The deep dark night of 25th March, people shivering in their homes. Amidst that, the Pakistani oppressors entered the premises of Bangabandhu's residence, suddenly capturing him in the middle of the night, leaving the whole family in terrors. But the Declaration of Independence already spread to different parts of the country, and people were prepared to fight. But how did that happen? Most respected moderator, learned judges, and August gathering. Assalamu alaikum. Today the debate is going on. The motion has been set as mass media is the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation war to future generations. And for obvious reasons, I'm speaking strongly for the motion. The answer to how that happens is when our father of the nation managed to send the message via wireless in the early hours of 26 March, which was further broadcasted through transmitter, EPR, telegram, and teleprinter. Then later on, M.A. Hanan, a leader of Chattogram Army League, managed to send the message through Chattogram radio station and subsequently Baburhat radio station. Now, my dear opponent, if the Declaration of Independence was not broadcast by mass media back then, could the liberation war even have a beginning? Question remains. That very Baburhat radio station, which was destroyed just 4 days after the Declaration of Independence. Now, why did they choose to destroy it? Leaving all the things like resources or even the intellectuals themselves first in the liberation war? Surely they thought how mass media as a way for spreading the spirit of liberation war is their biggest threat. Now, walking a little back into history, we can see how Bangabandhu came with a knight in shining armor with the 6-point demands, 11-point demands, and 7th March speech, which was later given recognition by UNESCO in the History of the World Memories Register, which was the seed of our liberation war spirit. Now, how did these spread the spirit amongst our country? Initially, yes, the answer is once again through mass media. If it wasn't declared back then through BBC World, Better Bangladesh, it wouldn't have gotten mass coverage and our dream of independence would have been shattered. We would have been sadly crippled by the manacles of deprivation and the chains of segregation. So, my dear opponent, even our predecessors knew how important mass media was for spreading information during the liberation war. Programs like Jolampatra and Jolare Dorbar talked about the lives of freedom fighters, which helped the common people grasp the true gravity of war as it was being broadcasted through radio. Then again, in this age, 7 out of 10 rural families still listen to radios, as StatHub.com states. Jago Radio 95.4 FM, which holds an open session for all on the Friday before any government holiday to talk about liberation war related things. So, aren't they igniting the spirit? Now, my dear opponent, you said that people should learn from education, but people go to study tours from their educational institutions, eventually to museums, and 61.7% of Generation Z prefer to learn from internet sources rather than museums. www.statista.com states that. Then again, when you say that people are learning from those educational institutions going by study tours and things, 55% of the tickets for our Liberation War Museum is for the Internet Archive, which the Bangladesh government has opened for getting news about the Liberation War. So, isn't that the bigger majority? Then again, my dear opponent, you have just said that textbooks are the best way for gaining a liberation war spirit. But Google and Wikipedia.com itself states that textbooks are a medium of printed media. So aren't you being self-contradictory, telling that textbooks are the best medium for learning about the liberation war spirit? How can you, my dear opponent, say that mass media is not helping us learn when the first speaker of my team already states that 74% interact with history related posts on a daily basis? Then again, you have said all those things. And mass media is actually a good platform because it spreads positivity, because it spreads news about the liberation war itself. Now, allow me to compare the statistics from our post-liberation time to our daily times. The education rate was only 29.23%, whereas it is 74.13% right now. And the female education rate was 1/3 of the only population. It was for primary education, where it is 50% enrollment rates in higher education currently, as bbsportal.com states. So, all these happen because of the engagement of mass media, as CRI.org.bd again states that the availability of electricity was only 14% in 1990s, whereas it is 99% right now. So, isn't the education developing because of the development and the more engagement with mass media, my dear opponent? Then again, when spirit is engaged through mass media, it can be kept long for many ages. Many things like Hamlet, Macbeth, and Odyssey still have the same spirit hundreds of years ago. Just like that, our liberation-related literary pieces will have the same spirit. If our forefathers from 50 years ago could consider mass media as the most effective way, why can't you, my dear opponent, living in an age of globalization, consider the same thing? You're relating to hieroglyphics in the age of optical fibers. Mass media was, it is, and will be the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation. Thank you.
Thank you, Cadet Antara. Now may I request Habiba Mumu, the second speaker from the Baburhat High School and College against the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor. The debate is ongoing, and the motion of this debate is mass media is the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation to the future generation. And I'm speaking against the motion. Honorable Moderator, we are saying that media can spread the spirit of liberation, but it can never be the most effective way. We are saying that educational system including to our teachers, our educational curriculum, which is liberation oriented, can spread the spirit of liberation most effectively. Honorable Speaker, currently, our mass medias are disseminate information based on liberation just on special days such as 15 August, 16 December. On the other days, they are not promoting this news based on liberation at so much. So, suppose one day a film or a documentary based on liberation is promoting in television, but I may not be able to watch this because I may not have time or opportunity at that moment. So media or mass media can never ensure whether their message, their broadcasting information will reach to everyone's doorsteps or not. That's why we're telling that mass media can never be the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation to the future generation. Honorable Moderator, if we look at our Liberation Museum, we'll know that they have organized a seminar on 10 June 2023 with the teachers of Bangladesh, and our school teacher has participated that. The seminar was about the education program to inspire the new generation about liberation art. Now, I want to ask my opponent party why Liberation Art Museum has chosen our teachers, our educational institutions to spread the spirit of liberation art instead of your mass media. Honorable Moderator, if we think about Qawmi madrasas of our country, we'll see that there are close to 1 lakh Qawmi madrasas in our country, and so much students used to study in these Qawmi madrasas, and these Qawmi madrasas are residential and they have no access to television, and I'm so worried that they have opportunity to read newspaper. So if we rely on only mass media, then we can't ensure that those students who is to study in madrasas, they will have this spirit of liberation. But if these textbooks, if the teachers of madrasas include the liberation order to their lecture, then the students of madrasas will be able to know about the liberation order. That's why we're telling that only the liberation order oriented educational system, educational curriculum can spread the spirit of liberation to the future generation. Dear opponent, it wasn't your mass media that has spread the spirit of liberation to our generation. It was our educational institutions. Today, in every school of our country, the oath is recited in the assembly, where every student in a loud voice express his conviction to build the country in the spirit of liberation. This task they have to do every day, and that is how the spirit of liberation has been spreading among these students, and that is why we're telling that educational institutions can spread the spirit of liberation in the future generation most effectively. Honorable Moderator, first speaker of the opponent team has spoken about Times magazine, but I am saying most of the magazines or newspaper or television channel have been created by big industrial company or owners. If they are not manifested with the spirit of liberation then they won't spread the spirit of liberation by their channels. So if they are manifested with this spirit, then they will spread that. In a news of 7 February 2022 of Jugantar, it is said that the current media has become. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you, everyone.
May I call upon Cadet Rufaida, the team leader from the Feni Cadet College, to deliver her speech for the motion.
Imagine in the year 3000, nobody except a handful of people know about our glorious past. And among this ignorance, a Bangladeshi youth walking the streets sees a blank canvas. Curiosity begins to sparkle in his mind, and he sees a QR code on the upper corner of the canvas. He scans that QR code, and immediately a green and red painting depicting the struggles of our independence shows up on his screen. With that, a documentary link was also attached about our liberation war. He watches that documentary, comes to know about our history, shares it on his social platforms, and that post gets over 1 million reach, making every one of them drenched in the spirit of liberation war. Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for calling me the floor. Respected judges, fellow debaters, and August gathering, I welcome you all to the debate where we have gathered to debate on a topic that resonates deeply with the heart and soul of our nation, that is the spirit of liberation war. And based on undeniable facts, I stand here as a firm proponent in support of the motion. My introduction has already depicted how mass media can make a person from an ignorant to a patriotic. So allow me to present my points where we become digital historians and a fusion of mass media and history awaits. Dear opponent, the second speaker has mentioned that educational system is the most important. But dear opponent, have you wondered that the new curriculum tries to heart and soul to engage students by mass media, for example, smart boards, videos, and smartphones? In 2020 corona pandemic time, everyone attended classes through online classes, which are through mobile phone, computers, and tablets, which are mass media itself. So dear opponent, you are being self-contradictory again. You're telling about documentaries. Let me tell you, the Mujib, the making of a nation, has been shown to every schools, which is a mass media again. You have told about Liberation War Museum, but let me tell you, they have opened an online archive, which my second speaker has already mentioned, that 55% tickets of the online archive were more, which means that are the majority. Residential schools you have talked about, but have you ever wondered that we cadets of Feni Cadet College are residential ourselves, but we are getting the facilities of mobile phones and computers, and even at our parents' days, we are getting complete ability to know about what is going on through mass media. Textbooks are included in printed mass media itself, which has been told by first and second speaker of my team. And what do you do when you lose your books? Exactly. You download your books and textbooks through nctb.com, which is a mass media itself. Then why are you studying ICT books, dear opponent? Because we need to know about mass media to spread the spirit of a liberation war to the future generations. Among two main points in my speech, let's move on to the first one, unmatched spirit of 1971 spirit. Now, dear opponent, my teammates have already mentioned what the spirit of liberation war actually is. But alas, dear opponent, seems like you are living in another dimension when my teammates were mentioning that. But fear not, for I will be clarifying that once again. Notice, dear opponent, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman said on 10th January 1972, our independence will be a failure if my people cannot get 3 full meals. Our independence will be a failure if my youths are jobless. My independence will be a failure if women and sisters do not get clothes. So the magnificent spirit of liberation war is to make our Bengal a golden Bengal, making everyone drenched with the spirit of equality, freedom, and justice. And it is a fact now. Now, if any corruption takes place, the whole country unites together by the help of hashtags and sharing posts, which is, of course, mass media. Honorable moderator, when Rafiqul Islam, a student of Dhaka University, faced corruption while buying tickets at Kamlapur railway station, he stayed beside the road, declaring hunger strike for 18 days. But he didn't get noticed by anyone. But when mass media gave him coverage on TV, newspaper, and social platforms, the government immediately took steps. So, in this regard, when anybody sings for justice and equality, he or she sings for the pride and honor of liberation war itself. Dear opponent, why are you ignoring the importance of mass media when you yourself have collected information through them for today's debate? Even this debate will be broadcast on BTV Chattogram Center, which is a part of mass media itself. So can you tell me one alternative medium that can reach crores of hearts just like mass media does? Moving on to my second point, swift reach and unparalleled accessibility. In this era, no other medium mass media can spread the hearts of young generation other than mass media. Kindly pay attention, dear opponent. A research by Harvard University depicts that young minds can process any visual content 60,000 times faster, evoking 83% more emotion when they're exposed to historical documents. Dear opponent, please depict the fact that even if we want to burn the blazing flame of liberation war spirit in the minds of young generation, we have to know about that liberation war itself. And we can only know about liberation war in this era by the fastest speed with the help of mass media. The liberation war related books, for example, Karagare Rojnamcha, got 87 million downloads according to the statistics of google.com. So, in conclusion, while we appreciate the sentiments of relying on other methods, remember that debating whether to embrace mass media is like debating whether to accept electricity in 21st century. Let's not still be the ones still holding the candles. At last, let me invite you to the truth. And the ultimate truth is mass media is the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation war to future generations. Thank you, everyone.
Now I am requesting Mustahid bin Masum, the team leader from the Baburhat High School and College, to put his presentation.
My opinion party third member said that new curriculum can't take the emotions from the children. Thanks a bundle, honorable moderator, for giving me the chance. Today our debate topic is about mass media is the most only way to appraise the spirit of liberation war to future. We are against the motion. Firstly, we don't need any type of mass media. We need three of the things. After completing three things, we can do something better. Number one, yes, we need to change our curriculum. Secondly, we need to add a new book. And thirdly, we need to more restriction. We need to a great opportunity for the madrasa people. You said that you are a cadet college students, and why compare you to other madrasa students? Governments a lot of money invested for you study for your future. But for a madrasa student, he or she don't get this type of facility what you take, guys. And then smart school. In smart school, we have a smart blackboard and many types of instrument for us. So for with this one, our teacher can teach us easily about the liberation war. We need a book, and in that book there will be all of the history of Bangladesh, not only liberation war 1947 to 1975, a whole history in a book, and that will be permanent book for every classes. And then we need experienced teacher. Without experienced teacher, our life is valueless, because when my teacher is not excited or my teacher is not expert, what I am. So then the next thing is we need to change our mentality. Right now our mentality is mass media is not good because we are debating, but thinking in real life, how many people watch televisions today? And you compare this time to 1971 and 2023 is not same. In that time there was a system about radio system for talking, for communication. We know that, we don't deny that, but you can't compare 1971 to 2023. And then when 4 industrial revolution is coming, in 4 IR, all of the people of every country will be educated. When they will be educated, our country, the world will be fully changed. The 4 MOOL stands for 4 RI, or industrial revolution, AI, artificial intelligence, genetics and ICT. But in our curriculum, we have only ICT. So not only for the liberation war we need to change the curriculum, we need to change the curriculum for everyone, every class, everything that we help. And then current mass media, they're waiting for promotion for money. As you can see, in a 10-minute news, they saw 6 minute only promotional ad and 4 minutes for your news. This is the mass media, and this is the baddest thing of Bangladeshi mass media. for this time, people are not excited to watch mass media, news or other stuff. Emdadul Haq Milon said now they are selling 50% newspaper. Once upon a time they are selling 100% all newspaper daily, but right now it came to 50%. Why? Because people are coming back to this old generation. They need some new thing, so they are not dependent. They don't want to dependent on mass media. And when we will prove that, it will be can't be the more and more effect. And we need a society which will be with the society for everyone, for kid, for younger, for the rich or bad person. So when we said that the current organization, like right now, they are not interested in mass media, and then they have not that much skill. So with this, we need to acquire the power, the new thing, and when we will apply a new book about history of Bangladesh, it will be help for us. And secondly, we need to one day only multimedia class in every school. One day, every day teacher will teach us with smart board. In a report of Bonik Barta, Bangladesh more than 80% school have their own laptop and projector, etc. So they can, if they want, they can use that, but they have not that mentality. When we will change that, the everything will be changed. Thank you, everyone.
The first round of the debate, entitled Mass Media is the Most Effective Way to Spread the Spirit of Liberation War to Future Generation, is over. Now we are going to the rebuttal rounds. May I call upon Cadet Rufaida Raha, team leader, to put her arguments for the motion.
Thanks to mass media, for which, even standing 52 years away from 1971, we can still know what emotions evoked in the minds of Bengalis at that period. Dear opponent, today we're not talking about the topic how we can spread mass media to madrasas or what are the advantages or disadvantages of mass media. Rather, we're talking about the motion. Mass media is the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation war to future generations. Mass media is not a trend. It's a full-blown revolution that even our history books would have liked if they had a Facebook account. Mass media fosters a deeper connection beyond printed words, engaging perspectives, complementing them with visuals, sounds, and resonates longer emotionally. Aren't madrasa students using phones for talking to their parents? Well, dear opponent, you have talked about textbooks over and over again, but let me remind you, thank you for agreeing with us, because textbooks, I've told that many times, textbooks are included in printed mass media. Well, you have talked about teachers being more important, but remember that teachers in online private classes or like in shikho.com are using mass media themselves. You have told about newspapers not being popular, but dear opponent, newspapers are sold, for example, the Prothom Alo is sold 1 crore 8 lakh pieces every day, and that is only one newspaper in our country. There are 122 newspaper publishing companies, and I'm sure that there are more people who are reading that newspaper daily. Mass media, they are talking about television is not being used by in our country by the population. But remember, according to statexpress.com, 7 by 10 people in our country, Bangladesh, are still watching television for different newses, which is a mass media itself. You're talking about curriculum change, but we are not talking about curriculum change because the topic does not resonate with that. Rather, you are accepting the subject ICT, which is teaching us about mass media themselves. So, dear opponent, this points clearly implies how misconceptions have engulfed you. So I would like to invite you to the realm of truth, which is that mass media resonates better with the dynamic preferences of future generation and is the most effective way to spread the spirit of liberation war to future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Cadet Raha, for putting your arguments. Once again, I am requesting Mustahid bin Masum, the team leader against the motion, to put and defend the arguments.
Basically, we said that we need a book like ICT, not ICT book. We need a book that will be about our liberation of Bangladesh, the history of Bangladesh, and that will be like ICT book that will be compound for everyone, selected for every students of Bangladesh. When we'll do these things, we don't need mass media. Right now, many people, like in 2018 or 19, in Bangladesh, people saw more than 3 crore TV channels and 3 crore viewers from the organic news. But right now, it is 1 crore or 1.5 crore according to Bonik Batta 27. And that is the main thing. We said that we need to change the mentality, we need to change the book, the curriculum, then automatically we don't need a mass media. But mass media is not the most essential part. We have more important essential parts in our life. But why you are only saying that mass media? Because right now, in according to Prothom Alo, more than 50 million people use Facebook in Bangladesh. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter or YouTube is not mass media, it's social media. Social media and mass media have a lot of correction and lot of information about both of them. So when 50 million people use Facebook, but can you give me any types of increasing level rights that people are watching televisions today? Okay, thank you everyone.
Actually, the topic today's debate, mass media is the most effective way to spread the spirit of the liberation war to future generation is very interesting. We need to know the glorious history of our liberation war, which gave us the independence and our own map in the global atlas under the great leadership of our father of nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. We have to take the responsibility of presenting the correct history to spread the spirit of the liberation war, particularly to post-independence generations. Mass media, example, the press, print, televisions, or other electronics, has got a boost due to the various initiatives taken by the present government under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Definitely, this mass media can play a vital role to spread the spirit of the liberation war. Moreover, preserving the history of liberation war, doing more research to realize the background and importance of the liberation war for our independence and are important. Two, adding all those history as a valuable contents to our educational materials could also help to spread the spirit of our liberation war, particularly to the younger generation. By doing this, we can expect a nation who will love and put efforts to make the nation great more. I would like to thank both teams for their wonderful presentations. They have demonstrated their knowledge and skill, putting logics and arguments with examples and necessary references to support their statement. Now it is time to declare the result. Before doing it, I would like to thank our honorable adjudicator for their valuable judgment. According to the result, the winner team of today's debates is the Feni Girls Cadet College. And the best speaker is nominated by the judge. It goes to team leader of the Feni Girls Cadet College. Thank you all for watching and enjoying this program. I would like to congratulate both the teams, particularly the Feni Cadet Girls College. Thank you very much.